All right, next thing we need to do is write a custom snap predicate block called increasing. Okay, so to write a snap predicate block, we'll say make a block and we'll call it increasing. And it's a predicate block, so we'll click that, press OK. In order to take an argument of a list, you press this plus button and we'll click on list, and we can title it list. Okay, now we want to make sure that it's increasing every single time. So in order to do that, we need to go through the whole list again, so we're going to need our counter. So let's set counter to 1, and we're going to need a loop, so a repeat until. We want to repeat until the counter is equal to the list length, because we want to go through all the numbers. So we need counter and we need list length, or the length of this list. And we want to compare it until it's equal, right? Repeat until the counter is equal to the length of list. All right, great. Now what's the next step? Takes a list of numbers as an argument and reports true if each value is greater than or equal to the one before it. Okay. So let's look at my list. The first item in the list is 1. So we need to compare items. So we're going to probably have 2 item numbers because we want to compare them. We want to see if one is less than the other. So which item? Well, it's whatever item that we are in the loop. So if the counter is 1, we'll just call it counter. Counter is what we need. So the counter item of the list. So we want to make sure, so if the counter item is less than now the question is, how do I get, if this is counter, what's this one equal to? It's counter plus 1. If counter is 1, we want to compare item 1 and item 2. Well, item 1 right now is the counter, and item 2 would be just counter plus 1, and that's how we're going to do it. So if I have item 3, counter plus 1 will be item 4, or item. So we're going to compare these two, except the way to say counter plus 1 is we would have operators. And let's duplicate this. Counter plus 1. And now we can compare the two. So we want to say if this is true, let's check the next one, and then let's check, if they're all true, we'll check all of them, and at the end we'll report true. But if any of them are not correct, that's why we'll need an else. If any of these are not true, then we need to report false, right? So if it is true, let's say counter plus 1, and we'll go through the loop. Or increase counter by 1. Oh, add. Let's see. Change, that's what it is. Change counter by 1. So if it's true, we change counter by 1 and go through the whole list. Oh, this has to say list too. So we'll go through the whole list, and if at any point that it's not true, we want to report false. Now, you see this little thing? It's called a comment. This is something new that we have to put into our blocks, and I'm gonna be checking for the comments from now on. And what was this one? This was increasing, right? So edit, and now I want to know what increasing actually does. So in order to do that, I'm gonna two-finger click this, and you see where it says add comment? We're gonna add comment. And I want you to tell me what this actually does. This checks the list to see if all the numbers are increasing. Okay? I want you to do that for every section of your scripts from now on. It's very important in coding.